Hello everyone, Lucy here for the Scrapbook Cottage in Winnipeg. I am here today to share with you how I made this little, well not so little, 5¼ by 8¼ Summer Folio. I'm going to take you through the whole book first. So I'll show you how I've put the pattern paper on, etc. And then we'll go through to make it. So I have chosen with this Hello Summer book to keep it closed with an elastic tie. I put a hole through the first hinge, and that's what keeps it closed. So it's quite easy to keep closed. The cover, the inside cover, I guess, has a pocket. It's I've chosen just to angle it a bit to give it a little bit more pizzazz. And I had extra black and extra pattern paper, so I just made a little insert to go into it. The actual first page is has a pocket in it, and again I had extra papers, so I just chose to do that. I have put paper in on the excuse me, on the hinge. Turn the page. This page has lots of room for pictures. I open it up again. This is the actual kind of the back of the book, I guess. And again, room for pictures. Again, I put pattern paper in to kind of hide the binding. I made these two being the same color just to kind of match. This one, if you notice, this one and this one are the same. So pretty easy. Do one, you've got them both done. So again, I made a little insert. It's got a pocket. On the back cover, I have what we call stacked pockets. So we make these pockets, and then it allows you to put large or medium size or small inserts. Okay, so this one goes in first because these pockets don't stop there. This pocket doesn't have a bottom to it, so it allows you to put in your inserts all the way down. And the middle one can go, all the way down to here. And then the little one, of course, right there. So that, it's a very easy album to make. That closes, and again, like I said, I used an elastic cording to close it up. So let's get started. I think with any album or folio, this one's technically it's a folio album, I guess. Usually folios have no hinges. Albums have hinges. This one has kind of a little hinge, a couple of little hinges, I guess. So if you've bought the kit, you will see that I have 2 pages, large pages. I believe they're 11 by 12. We're going to have to put these together to make our cover wrap big enough for all our chipboard. So I'm just going to put some suquang, a very thin piece. It doesn't have to be a large one. And we're going to take that off and just tack them together. Oh well, yeah, I don't really want it to be that far together. There we go. Okay, let's try that again. There we go. We'll just burnish that to make sure it's well adhered. And that is our cover piece. As with all albums, we have to cover, I like to cover the whole chipboard, the whole one side of each piece of chipboard with suquang. I really like the sheets of suquang. They're so easy to work with and much quicker than putting tape. You can get tape that's very large, but I prefer these pages because they're just done so much quicker. So we're gonna that one, and I need to get a new knife. Okay, we're gonna there we go. I'm going to use this piece on here. We'll have to add a little piece, but that's okay. There we go. I'm going to start another one for this piece. And these sheets are no more expensive than buying the tape. So I just find it's just so much easier, so much cleaner, and faster to use. It's my preference. Okay, come on. What's my problem here? There we go. Didn't quite get that cut. Like I say, I think I need a new one. Now, I don't throw away any pieces. So, actually, I might even have one to fit there. Let's see. No, I don't. I have almost every size of suquang. Just not that large. So I'm going to use this one along here. And another one will do. There we go. And then we need, yeah, I just need one size bigger of suquang and I'd have, that's okay. We'll make do here. We do want it all covered because we don't want to have our, get our book made and then have our cover sheet start to crinkle. So that's why we want to make sure we have it well done. Let's see. No, 9.5 is going to be a little bit too big. Oh, let's see what I've got. What I've got here. Okay, I have a 7. Sorry for the crinkling. Let's see. I think 7 will do it. We'll just make sure it's on the edge. Oh yeah, perfect. See what I mean by I have almost all the sizes. And I use almost all the sizes too. Okay. So we've got all of these done. I'm just gonna snip this a little bit here. It's not very, not very clean. Not that it matters. Nobody's going to see it except you guys and me. All right, here we go. So we have all our pieces. And I forgot to get myself some Tyvek. Okay, so in your kits, you will have some Tyvek. In your kits, though, it'll be white. What Tyvek is simply the material that they wrap houses with. You know, after they've put the insulation on and then they wrap it, that's Tyvek. So if you've got a contractor husband, you've got free Tyvek. Or it's also what office envelopes are used. You just can't rip it. You have to cut it. In fact, I was using the guillotine. No, it wasn't a guillotine. It was the paper trimmer at work. And I was finding it was having trouble cutting it. I was having to use scissors. So it is super strong. So what I need this Tyvek for is to just reinforce where my album is going to be you know, going up and down, opening and closing the pages. Okay, depending on your cardstock, you know, it is just paper after all. Adding the Tyvek just gives it a little bit more strength. So what I want to do is I want to cut a piece of Tyvek that is, and I would really like to find a big spot. So I'm going to have to make sure that my Tyvek is wide enough so that I can put my cover on and then have my hinge piece on and then have my other cover on it, right? So I'm going to need a piece of Tyvek that is roughly, you know, I spend as much time looking for my tools as I do making albums sometimes. It's just silly. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna get a piece of Tyvek that's 2.5 inches and by 9 inches. Okay, so 2.5 by 9, and I just happen to have this piece at home here that I don't know where I got this black, but I had it, so let's just use it. It's all the same, white, black. Okay, so I said 2.5, right? I'm just gonna snip it here. It's very and by 9, right? I'll just go a little bit less than 9, and I have to make 2 of these. So I'm not going to try to use my cutter. I'm just going to try to cut as straight as I possibly can. There's one, and we'll cut a second one. Doesn't have to be pretty, doesn't have to be exactly straight. We're just using it to reinforce where we're going to be folding. And we're going to just decide where approximately we want a 1/2 inch on top, 1/2 inch on the bottom, about inch, not half. I don't know where I was getting that from. Okay, and this will go here, of course, the other way, but I'm just dry fitting right now. Yeah. Okay, so pencil. Let's go. I am just going to say I want it to be here and here. Okay. I need to put Sukwang on here. I'll just use my wider stuff. We don't have to cover it totally, but I want to make sure it's going to stay put. So I'm going to going to put one more in the center. There we go. We'll do that with the other one too, and then it'll be done for when we need it. You're going to find, if you've never made an album, getting your album cover done takes the most time. But just like building a house, you want to make sure that your foundation is strong and well built, right? So it takes time to build our album cover too. Okay, so we're going to put this down first. And we said about here. Okay, now we're going to put our one cover down, and make sure that you can see this. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to have about an inch top bottom. So this looks about right. Okay, and now I'm going to take the rest off. We're going to put one of our hinges in there. Now, I used to use, oh, no, don't come off like that. I used to put a thin piece, a 3 or I think maybe it was a 5mm piece of Sukwang down beside my first cover, and then put my other piece on. But that was using Sukwang for nothing. And my friend and her husband have a 3D printing machine. And so I got her to make me this handy dandy tool. It's 1 inch on top and then 3/16 in between, which is just perfect for what I need in between my pieces of chipboard. Okay, so it's there. We're going to put our second one on. Oh, and before we put our second one on, I made this mistake last time. Yeah, we have to make sure that we know where we want this piece, right? So again, I'm just going to dry fit. That's going to be about how far away that has to be. Okay, this looks good. Again, it's nothing, you don't have to be particular about this. It's just to reinforce. Because after all, we are building with paper, and paper rips. Okay, so we're going to put this here. There. Okay, now we're good to keep going with our okay, so I'm going to take my handy dandy tool again. I'm going to get this in here like this. And I'm going to pull this out. There we go. And we have one more hinge piece to put in. Whoop. And the final cover piece. There we go. So we have what we're going to do now is we are going to put, I am going to put 9.5 millimeter sequin all the way around each of the pieces of chipboard, plus all the way around the black. So, like I said, it's kind of a lot of work, but so worth it. These are thin enough that I don't think I need to put at the bottom. You'll see what I mean in a minute. We don't need to go right to the corner because we're going to be cutting off those corners. So we'll just so we're going to have to go up here. Building the cover takes the most time. We're not going to go to the end of the corner here either because we're cutting that off. One more. We've got tape all the way around. Now we need to cut our corners. Now, before I had this tool, I used, I think it's 2 pieces of chipboard, and I would stand it up like this and then, you know, hope for the best. I find with this little tool that, again, my friend made, we sell at the Scrapbook Cottage, not very expensive. If we just put this tool in here, we make our line, and that's going to be perfect. It's the perfect amount of paper to cut off. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to use my big scissors to cut this corner. There we go. Now, what I do, and I mean, you can fold this in like this if you wish, okay, and do it this way. I find that I'm not as accurate when I do it that way. What I do is I take my book, I put it down on my chipboard, and I fold down. And I find that gives me a more accurate. It's nicely tucked in. For some reason I have a hard time tucking it in nicely otherwise. So now what we're going to do is we are going to take our tape off this whole edge, and we're going to take the ones that go up and down, we're just going to pull them out of the way for now. Just flip them up for now so they're not in our way and we don't. Come on up. There we go. And this whole piece down here. Okay. So I'm going to go down again, same way as I did before. There. It's all nicely tucked on. Just going to burnish. Okay, we'll push these down for now. And we're going to do the same on the other side. Best to do the long ends first. I just find that easiest. Come on. Doesn't want to come off for me for some reason. There we go. Okay. And this long one. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go down. I'm going to burnish. I'm not exactly at 1 inch on both up and down. Doesn't matter. We're going to be covering that all up. Okay, so now we have the ends that we have to do. And if we were to just fold this up onto here, we would have pieces that would be kind of sticking out. It wouldn't look very pretty. So what we're going to do is we're going to tuck that in on both ends. So just give it a tuck in. Okay. And now I'm going to do the same with this piece. I'm going to fold and go down. And if you see, we have nice corners because we did that tucking in. Okay, so that's a trick. Okay, we're going to do the same here. I just want to make sure you can see what I'm doing here. Let's see. Let's put this here. So I'm just going to take and tuck that in. And the same with the other side. Tuck it in. Okay. I'm going to fold back and down. Again, I'm going to give this a nice burnish to kind of finish off the edge. Okay, there. We have our cover done. Okay. We're going to set that aside for now, and we are going to work on our hinges. So I'm going to take my score pal, and you will have pieces that say hinge, I hope. They should measure 4, by 8.5, right. So you're going to put the 8.5 on top. Okay, I've lost my scoring tool amongst my mess. So with the on the 4 inch at the top, you're going to go 1.5, 2, and 2.5. Okay, you're going to do that with both. The 4 on top, you're going to go 1.5, 2, and 2.5. Okay, that's it for scoring right now. What we're going to do is we're going to put tape on one of these 1/2 inch. Okay. So you can choose which one you want to use, which one you want to put it on, doesn't matter. And I am going to do that on both. I am going to fold in, okay? And then I'm going to fold these out. So what's going to happen is, what we're doing is we're going to fold this 1/2 inch scored piece onto this 1/2 inch scored piece, okay? Only one of them has tape on it. So we're just going to fold it in the middle. Okay, and we're going to be left with this. Okay, so taking the tape off, and we're going to fold in half towards the tape. Okay, and then we're going to take and we're going to, there we go, we're going to fold that one back and fold that one back. And this, my friends, is the hinge. okay? The one hinge that we need for this book, okay? So we're going to, okay. We're going to miter this hinge just a wee little bit, okay? Just a tad. Just a tad. And oh, now we've got those pieces all over my book. And we are going to put tape on both sides of this little hinge. So we want to put tape on, come on here. Okay. Up. Okay, so that's got tape on it there. Don't want to waste any of this. I don't think I have any others at home here, so. Okay. So now our hinges are ready for our pages. They're going to look like this. Now we're going to put tape on the back. Okay, there already is some here. So instead of putting it all over, we're just going to put it along the edges. So we're just going to put tape along the edges because the middle has all these, right? So I think that'll be lots. Boy, I'm having trouble with today. Here we go. Do that on both of them. All right. Now we are going to put these hinges into our book. So we're going to take all these off. Oh, that one got stuck inside there. And we're going to try to the best we can to center this hinge in the center of this piece of chipboard. Okay? So you can see where it folds here, and you can see where it folds there. So in the center of that, okay? And it's about, let's see, not even a quarter of an inch on the top and bottom. So you can tell about where you're going to have to put that. Okay. And do the same with the other one. Take all these off. And again, I can tell where I've folded top and bottom. So okay, so again, about centered in those lines. Hope my head isn't in the way, and down. Burnish it, and let's fold where that should be. There we go. Same thing here. You can kind of tell where it is. So you give it some help. And there. So we have our folio made with the 2 hinges. Okay. Now, in order to keep it closed, remember how I said I used an elastic. And because might look funny here, I don't think it does. Because of the hinge being in the middle, our hole isn't going to be exactly in the center, right? It's going to have to be on one side or the other. To make that hole, I use, I think it's called a crocodile. So it makes holes for large or pretty thick things. So I have to decide, oh, just a minute here. Let's measure to see where halfway is. I think it's 9.5. No, sorry, 9. So that 4.5 is halfway. So right here, I'm going to try to make my hole right there. And so I'm going to make it as close to my hinge as I possibly can. And so there it is. Again, it's not in the center, but it doesn't bother me. The other way you could keep it closed is by using ribbon to keep it closed. Just have to put my tool back together again here. Well, I'll just leave it for now. You could use ribbon. Put your ribbon here, and then tie it closed. I've done that, and that's very pretty too. So whatever way you choose. I chose this time. Okay, set that aside. You have 2 pieces that say pages. We're going to score those on the 12-inch side. Sorry, at 5 3/4 and at 11.5. Okay, we'll do that with both of them. 5 3/4 and 11.5. All right. We're going to fold, burnish, and miter. So fold. We're going to be putting tape on here as well. Let's just miter it for now, fold it for now. Excuse me. And we're just going to miter these corners a little bit. Okay. Those are done. Let's just leave those pages there for now. And we're going to take our pockets. And we're going to score, I'm sorry, excuse me, at a 1/2 inch on both short sides and one long side. Okay, so 1/2 inch. It's 6 3/4. So 1/2 inch there is going to be 6 1/4. And we're going to flip it and go half here. So a 1/2, 6 1/4, and a 1/2. Okay, the pockets. So we're going to put our tape here. We don't have to go to the end because we're going to be mitering that corner. Excuse me. And that one. And this side. There. Okay, let's miter those corners and just cut through the scored X here. I'll do the same on the other one. We'll fold and burnish. I'm just going to miter the top here too, just a little bit. Just closes up better. Fold, burnish, there we go. Okay, so these pockets are going to go on our pages. So let's take our pages and we're going to lay these pages so that, excuse me, the openings are to the outside. Okay, so that these open outside. Okay, so we're going to put the pockets to the bottom of the pages. Make sure I do the same as what I did in my book here. Okay, so we're gonna put our pocket on, if this is on the left, we're gonna put it on this one. Okay, so it's gonna go here. Now, we're going to do something a little bit different with this. We're going to take our tape off of the bottom, and when this is open, we're not putting the pocket inside, but we're putting the bottom of the pocket inside. That way it'll close up our page. And I'll show you in a second. So I'm putting this down here. It's on the inside. But now I'm going to close this up. And now I'm going to put my pocket here. So now this page is also a booklet form, okay? You can now, when it's closed, you can put tags in here, okay? It's just a different way to do it. Just trying to show you a different way. So this is closed. It's not, but we're going to close it like this. And we're going to put our pocket down. There. Whoop. There we go. Okay. So this is one page. Remember, it's on this side. So again, we're going to take this one. We're going to flip it because our pocket's going to go on here. But we're going to put it down here. We're going to close this. And now our pocket is going to close up those pages. Okay? So we're going to close these up. Now, the pocket may not be sitting exactly right on page, so we can just fix that. Just work at it. There we go. Okay, so we have pocket and pocket. Okay. Okay. We're now going to put those pockets, or pardon me, the pages onto our hinges. So we're going to take the tape off of here. And it's a little, I mean, it's not hard, but it's tricky. Sometimes some people find to put those pages onto the hinge. So a little trick is to put a bead of wet glue all along here on both sides. Okay, before you put this down. Okay, so now I'm going to take my page and I am just going to make sure, remember we have this 1/2 inch here that we want to make sure that we have closed properly. There we go. Make sure that we have that in. And we don't want to go all the way down to the bottom, but we don't want to stick out too much either. Okay, so I think this looks okay. Now, doesn't look very pretty because I have glue, but when it dries, it's going to be clear. That's what I like about this glue. Okay? So we're going to do the same thing on this side. And that bead of glue just gave me a little bit more wiggle time. Noticed how I didn't put it in the right place the first time, and so this glue just gives me a little bit of time to wiggle around. If I didn't put the glue, the tape just adheres right away, and there's no getting away from it. So I'm going to stick this on. I start at the bottom and I go to the top, and I make sure that it's all the way down at the bottom, which I don't think it is right now. See how that glue gives me wiggle time. Okay, all right, come on, here we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, and like I said, your glue will not show once it dries up. There, you've got your pages in your book. I'm just going to put my pin back in my glue here before all right. Next, we're going to do our stacked pockets. Okay. But, yeah, before you do your stacked pockets, you're going to want to decide what paper you want to put in here. So you're going to want to put, you have to decide now. Do you want to, I had put, if you remember, show you. If you remember, I had put this all the way through and carried it to the back. You don't have to. Okay, it's totally up to you which you'd rather. So you have to decide what paper you want to put there. And I am going to just pull out my pockets. Stack pocket, stack pocket, stack pocket. Okay, I need two. I don't need two of that. Okay, this one is, okay, this is 3.5. Okay, so that's one of them. Aha, and there are two that are like this. Okay, perfect. I've got what I need. Okay, I am going to get some paper, but I'm not going to use the paper that I've given you guys. I'm just going to pull out a piece that's, pretty, but let's see here. No, I don't use that one. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to use this one. Okay, so I need a piece that is, and this you're going to be doing when you, so I need a piece that is 5 7/8 by 8 7/8. Okay, 5 7/8 by 8 7/8. Okay, 5 7/8 by 8 7/8. Okay, so this is going to go in here. Okay, you'd put that in, all done. Now you can do your stack pockets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pretend this is in my book. Okay, this is is my book. Here are my stacked pockets. So I am going to score. I'm going to score the 3.5 by 6 one. Oh, that's not scoring. Here we go. Now I can score. Okay. I'm going to score at 1/2. Remember, it's a pocket, and 5.5 because it's a pocket. And we are going to score at the bottom 1/2. Okay. Now these guys, we're going to score at 1/2 and 5.5, but not along the bottom. 1/2, 5.5, but not along the bottom. Okay. So we are going to miter these corners. I'm going to miter along the top here a little bit so it's nice and clean. I'll miter these just top and bottom just so that they're clean. And this one. Okay, so we have to tape as usual. Okay, let's try this here. Okay, so I'm going to tape here. And here. And here. And here. And this one I'm going to tape all the 3 sides that have been scored. Okay. Let's fold and burnish. Fold. And burnish. Okay, now remember we're pretending this is my book at the back. We are going to take the bottom one and we're going to attach it near the bottom of the page. I said about 1 inch. It's up to you. Just remember that these are going to be just on top of it. So you don't want to go too far up, because then you're going to run out of room, right? So I am going to, I kind of like this paper. Didn't think I did, but it's kind of growing on me here. Okay. So I like to eyeball. I'm going to eyeball this about here. Okay, now we're going to take these. They're both the same, so it doesn't matter. And I'm just going to put it and butt it up to the other one, not inside it, not far away from it, just right up against it. Okay, so it almost looks like it's all one pocket. And we're going to do the same with this one. I think stacked pockets are neat. Okay, so this one, butt it right up to that one. And it looks like it's all one pocket. Okay, so it would be in here like this. Okay, and your tags, did I put them in? I think I might have put them in for you. Not sure, but this one for sure would, you know, would fit in here. Let's just, this one's nice, so nicely butted to it that it's hard to get into it. Come on. It's being difficult. Okay, so this would fit in right there like that. It would be, I think that it would also go into the middle one. Okay, not into the top one though, because it would get lost. Okay, so that's our stacked pocket. On the inside front cover, this one here, we're going to do a diagonal pocket. Okay, and I'm going to show you that right now. You take your pocket, it's a pocket, so guess what we're going to do? We're going to score at 1/2 inch on the bottom, and this time we're going to score on 2 long pieces. Okay, so on 2 long sides, so 1/2 inch and 4.5, and then 1/2 inch on the bottom. Okay, we're going to tape that. You don't have to go to the bottom. And before we tape the other side, we're going to measure, because there's no point using up tape if we're just going to cut it off. So we're going to measure from the top left, the folded. So we're going to fold, so where the score line is, we're going to measure 2 inches. Okay, pencil, there we go, 2 inches. And from on the right hand side, let's see here. Yeah, from the right bottom, again, where the score line is, we're going to measure 3 inches. Okay, so 3 and 2. And we're going to cut that. Let's put a line through it first. Okay, so 3 and 2. Okay, so we're going to cut this piece off. I'm going to use my there we go. Now we can put our tape on this side. We're going to miter. And fold. And burnish. And there's our diagonal pocket. So again, you are going to put your pattern paper down first, and then you're going to put your diagonal pocket on there. Now, I put it on an angle. I put the diagonal on an angle. So, you know, if you like that look, great. If it's something that, you know, you certainly don't want to ever do, that's okay too. I just thought it was kind of cute, kind of fun with this, especially with this paper. It gave it some pizzazz. So I'm not going to put this pocket in here. I'm going to save paper. But yeah, it would go inside here on an angle or straight if you wish. Now this angle, there's no, you know, strict reason why I use 2 inches and 3 inches. You can make this angle any angle you wish, whatever your heart desires. And that, my friends, is the book. You would put your elastic cording, go in from inside to out, or fold it in half, put it through here, and then I just made a big bow, a big knot, 1 knot. That's all it needed. So that is the Hello Summer folio. So it's a folio, but kind of an album, because it does have two hinges in it. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and I hope that you have fun making it. Bye now.